Hi, welcome back to another first round fireball. We'll be building a Lotus Flower trap today. And start with base. Got foam core. Use some cardboard. Cut the foam core to a 1.5 inch base. And I peeled off one side of the kind of the glossy paper. Strip down kind of a sliver of cardboard to skirt that base. And I folded it so that when I drop glue down, it wouldn't want to bow. So now I've got it bent. Look for a good edge to start gluing on. When you cut the foam core with scissors, sometimes it'll pinch the side, so just pick a fat side to start. That way you get a good secure glue on the first side. Kind of go back and forth with PVA or hot glue. Some parts I hot glue, just thinking that they might get more, digit contact, people picking it up, or maybe there's weight distributed on certain parts. So I use hot glue around the skirting, just because I figure people will be picking it up from there quite a bit. I got the glue down, and just cut off that remainder, and then trim it up and get rid of all the little excess hanging over. I didn't measure the width, I just figured I'd cut it here. That way you could also get rid of some of the excess hot glue. Alright, get that trimmed up. I use a little bit of wood just to give it more of a 3D effect, build it up. And I like the those wooden shapes, I don't know what to call it, little wood squares for the trap box. Cut a hole in our base so the trap box fits in there, glue around the edge, a little bit of PVA, and then the snugness of the fit, and it should hold it in there. Dropped a little bit of glue down in the kind of that dowel rod hole. I cut the dowel rod, gave it one kind of clean edge, so I shoved the kind of the rough edge down in the hole. I don't know that it'll matter, but in case I have traps that need a flat surface, I'm trying to just use the best edge for that top of the dowel. Clean the excess glue off. You poke the dowel through. Yeah, it should be good. Now we're going to move on to the trap blades. Cut, I guess it's a 2" by 2". Now for this I'm using DM Scotty's template. It's an awesome blade template, but we're just going to turn it a little bit more into a 3D trap. More of the Lotus Flower instead of the spinning blade. Definitely go to DM Scotty's video for that. It is an awesome tutorial on that trap, and this is a modification of his trap for sure. Alright, so now that I've got both those cut, you kind of spin them around to see how they look together. And then I'm going to cut about a 1/4 inch from kind of where the blades meet. That way I'll be able to twist them, give them more of a 3D look as the blades spin through the air. Careful not to cut yourself. Alright. Watching me cut is boring. Wish my phone had the 2x speed, but it is an older version. Alright, I got those cut. Kind of see the slot, not very deep. And then I'm just going to start to give it shape by bending it at the edge. Now you can choose how you want this to look with the aerodynamic. I usually bend at the kind of the flat back side of the blade. Bend it up. but you can give it any kind of shape you want for your aerodynamic lethality. So just keep giving that shape around. It should look something like this, propeller. Glad it's not sharp. Alright, think about how these are going to fit together. Like the way that looks. Take some hot glue. Oh no, we're going to look at the way this actually sets up. The complete version. What I like about the Lotus Flower is the top part of this trap, those blades that stick up. In my mind, a player with high dex, high acrobatics, and evasion is going to want to stand on top of a spinning blade trap and shoot from it. Just use it as a defense, so we're going to rectify that with the Lotus trap. These are the kind of the leftovers of that template we cut out for the blades. They end up making perfect top parts of the Lotus. And just bend it, cut off a little of the extra. Give it a little curve. And then again, I cut, you know, just about a quarter, maybe an eighth of an inch into that so I can fold up the blade. Look something like that. And when we got all three cut, and just kind of set it up, see how it looks. I think I started the folding process on one of these. Now to the bottom piece of the blade, I actually cut some of the extra off so that the top part could sit on there without conflict with the lower blades. Hot glue the middle of that. I assume people will be picking it up from this quite a bit too. At least I will be. So I want these blades to be secure. Alright, easy enough. A clean little excess glue off. And that's a good start. Okay, we'll start to secure the top parts of the Lotus Flower. And kind of place them around, see what you know, is aesthetically pleasing. I like a little bit of symmetry in the Lotus Flower. It just looks nice. That's the way it ended up looking. You got all the blades glued together. And again, glad it's not sharp. Maybe an unnecessary step, but I just liked, again, to build up more into the 3D, and it might give it a little bit more weight, so I've added extra little bit of cardboard under the blades to support kind of the neck of it. So I just matched the kind of the perimeter of my wooden trap box. It'll serve as the base. And then I'll glue that to the underside of the blades. Probably unnecessary, but it pleases me. Okay, glue that little square on. Hot glue is nice, it sets up really quick. And I gotta figure out what that is. I don't know what to call it. Spool, wooden spool, I suppose. I use a lot of those for rotation. Makes a nice neck for the trap and the trap box to sit on. Again, just a little bit of hot glue for this because the two pieces intentionally come apart. And I'd like this to be secure because I imagine this will get picked up, moved around, jostled quite a bit. clean off a little excess. And that is the top portion of the Lotus Flower trap. Alright, now here we skipped ahead. I black bombed most of it. When we black bomb, we add probably 50% the PVA white glue. Gives it kind of a shell. I've seen a lot of other people do this as well. It's an awesome tactic to give a little bit of structural support. When you black bomb these, it'll get the cardboard wet, and that's another chance to help shape it. So what I've done here is just kind of turn it upside down as I'm painting the underside. Use the brush to help again curve those down. And it won't stay this way, but it definitely helps retain shape after you've given it a couple layers of paint with the PVA. You see the Lotus starting to come together here, more of the 3D shape. Again, just little bending the blades down. Alright, skip ahead again. See a little bit of the gray going on. This is steel gray, but it's not at all reflective, which I think is important. We'll get to. Alright, so next step, I suppose, is to put on the finishing touches like you see, the gleaming edge and a little bit of blood spatter. Alright, thank you very much. See you next week, part 2.